Welcome back to the Ultimate Fighter recap, once again where I recap the last episode of the Ultimate Fighter with Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler. And this episode was definitely better than last week. As you guys might know, I was a little bit disappointed in the last episode. I said, it was a good introductory episode, but not too much happened. Definitely a lot more Conor McGregor this time around. This episode had a lot of Conor McGregor, not so much Michael Chandler, but we're going to go into that as we talk about the episode. A lot of ups and downs, a very shocking moment in the beginning of the episode. What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. If you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. And yes, this week is UFC 289. I'm breaking down all the fights this week, coming out with an Amanda Nunes and Irene Aldana prediction coming soon, which I might just film right after this video and release on Thursday. But also Charles Oliveira, Beneil Dariush, the prediction is already out. If you guys want to go check that out, click the link in the corner or tune in at the end of the video. I'm sure it'll pop up there. Also, guys, we're trying to hit 12K by the end of the month, so if you guys could just chip in, hit the subscribe button, share this video. We're trying to grow the fan base. And yeah, without further ado, let's just get into this video. All right, Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler, once again back at it, coaching TUF. Last week was a pretty decent episode. If you guys want a recap of that, I'll put it in the corner if you guys want to go check that out. But episode 2, a hefty price to pay, opens up with a bantamweight matchup that was supposed to take place. The fight between Timur Valles and Trevor Wells was postponed in the beginning of the episode. Basically, Trevor Wells had some sort of infection. The doctors wouldn't let him continue. It was one of those things, something just out of his control. So the guys are trying to frantically come up with a solution. What are they going to do next? Dana White says, hey, we're just going to postpone the fight, have it another week, and we're going to move on and put on another fight, which they put on another bantamweight matchup. They decided to go with Cody Gibson and Mando Gutierrez. Cody Gibson was fought in the UFC almost 10 years ago. A pretty old guy for the Ultimate Fighter, in my opinion. He just seems a bit old, I don't know. I don't mean to be a hater, but he's just really old. I really don't see him becoming a champion, so I feel like, why would you give someone else that slot? That's just my opinion, though. I don't mean to hate, but Cody Gibson did look very good, and, that's pretty much expected. He does have a tons of experience, probably one of the more experienced guys on the roster, in terms of people in the house, at least. But we'll talk about the fight later on and what played out. We see kind of montages of them training back and forth. Conor McGregor kind of, teaching him how to fight a southpaw. Both guys were southpaw in this matchup. Obviously, Conor McGregor being a really good southpaw, that really helped things. But definitely one of the more entertaining parts of the show, and this episode at least, was when Conor McGregor went to the TUF house with everybody, even some of Chandler's teammates, kind of, just hanging around with them, drinking with them. And we kind of figured that he was drinking with the TUF people. If you guys remember, there was a clip that surfaced of Conor McGregor leaving the TUF house, pretty much drunk as shit, going in a limousine and just laughing, guys. That came out like a couple months ago, so we figured that this was gonna happen. I think that was probably from that night. But all in all, I know a lot of people are gonna say, hey, Conor McGregor shouldn't be drinking. He shouldn't be drinking with the contestants. Honestly, I thought it was just a funny moment. I'm not gonna overanalyze what this means in terms of a Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler fight and his motivation, like I know a lot of people are probably going to on Twitter. I haven't really checked anybody's reaction. I just literally just ended the episode, but I assume there's probably gonna be some people critical of that, and understandably so. I made a video talking about me being worried for Conor McGregor and those reasons. However, this was in February, kind of a different story from them to be doing this in June, but it is what it is. As a lot of you guys pointed out recently, Conor has over 6 months to fight Michael Chandler, so I think we could all relax on the worries, including myself. This fight is most likely going to happen. I think Conor's going to come in shape in this fight, and we'll just see. But other than that, we had a really nice moment with Michael Chandler bonding over the guy he's coaching, Cody Gibson, because Cody was adopted, and obviously we know Michael Chandler has adopted kids, and basically we're just bonding over that. It was kind of a nice moment, but man, I don't know why these guys always have the saddest stories, bro, because one of them is going to lose. So far, we've had 2 brutal first round knockouts with both their stories being so sad, and now it's like, damn, what's going to happen? But I think with Mando, I think he's going to be fine. He is still pretty young in his career, so we'll see what happens with him, and he's also a really good personality. I wouldn't be surprised if the UFC signs him anyways. But anyway, with Conor McGregor once again not in the weigh-ins. I don't know why he's not showing up to these weigh-ins, but I guess that's just his thing. The fight itself was really good. Conor McGregor wearing the cowboy hat. The reason he was wearing that was because Mando always was wearing it beforehand. That's kind of his thing, I guess. And basically within the first 10 seconds, I knew Mando was going to lose because, when you're the shorter fighter, you kind of want to be pressuring, kind of entering into range. Basically, whenever Cody Gibson would just press forward, Mando would just go run backwards all the way at the end of the cage. And it's like, you can't do that as a shorter fighter. You can't just run as even farther away from the taller fighter that has such a length. Another thing I noticed right away was Cody Gibson is huge for this weight class. Like, he looks ginormous. And maybe this is just Mando. Maybe he's just shorter and smaller. But man, like, I swear to God, this looked like a welterweight in there against a bantamweight. Huge guy Cody Gibson is. And I think early on, Mando kind of realized, hey, this isn't going to work on the feet. I have to wrestle. Kind of shot a sloppy takedown, easily defended by Cody Gibson. Cody stuffs it. They're against the cage for a while, and I was like, man, this is going to be a boring fight, a boring round where they're just pushing him against the fence. But no, they eventually broke. And at this point, I think this is where we saw Mando kind of be mentally defeated, especially so early on in the fight. And look, I get it. Pressure's on. You've been away from your family. You got to give up everything just to go to the TUF house. The pressure is on. You got Conor McGregor as a coach, so I'm not trying to criticize him at all. Lesser people wouldn't even come on the show, so definitely takes a lot of guts, so I'm not trying to take anything away from him. But you could just tell he was getting very frustrated period, throwing very sloppy shots, just trying to just land anything on Cody Gibson, and that's eventually what got him caught. He got caught in the first round with a big flying knee, basically destroyed half of his face, and he got brutally knocked out, TKO'd. You can see the frustration of Conor McGregor, and you could tell that Conor really cares for these guys because Mando did give Conor McGregor a haircut early on in the episode. I don't think I mentioned that, but that was a big moment in the episode as well. If you guys didn't see that, it was a good moment. He did his hair pretty well, I gotta say, especially during a weight cut. I was pretty surprised, like, damn, he's doing it pretty well, and Conor wasn't trying to make it easy. You know, Conor was talking to this guy, that guy turned his head. Either way, that's the final result. Cody Gibson wins via first round TKO, and he's the first bantamweight to win a fight so far. Yeah, I thought it was a really good knockout. You know, decent fights. Like, I gotta say, like, the fights in this season are definitely so far a lot better than the last season with Juliana Pena, because I remember every single one of those fights would just be a decision fight. Terrible heavyweights. The women were decent in the show, but mostly it was just kind of boring. I thought that the women in the other season was actually better than the heavyweights, because honestly, the heavyweights are pretty trash. Like, they were just honestly garbage. And I don't mean to shit on anybody, and I hate saying people are garbage, but dude, like, no words to say. But regardless, you know, I don't mean to shit on everybody. We're talking about this season. I thought this episode was pretty good. I think a lot of people are going to agree, though. I think this one was definitely an improvement. A lot more Conor McGregor, a lot more Michael Chandler, a lot of behind the scenes on the training. Conor McGregor giving a lot of knowledge to Mando in training. You saw they had some sort of grappling exchange. I forgot what it was, and they helped him. Conor McGregor helped him and gave him a lot of clues, and just giving him kind of finer details. And I like to see that. I like to hear it, you know, as someone that likes MMA, as someone that likes to listen to people talk about MMA and different techniques. It was definitely interesting, and I'm glad that they showed that perspective a little bit more, and I'm glad we got to see the showmanship of Conor McGregor, because let's be honest, that's what's going to carry this show. I think it was a mistake the first episode not having that, because the last episode I think had something like 150k concurrent viewers on ESPN, which I think the last season of The Ultimate Fighter, when it was on Fox with Conor McGregor, had like 600k concurrent viewers. And granted, that doesn't count ESPN Plus subscriptions, which I was watching on ESPN Plus, but still not looking so good. It's a tough position to be in, and I don't think this has anything to say with Conor McGregor. I think it has more to say with The Ultimate Fighter. A lot of people are not liking it, and I can only imagine that after that first episode, the viewership is only going to drop. I don't think that episode really caught the attention of so many people. There wasn't so many headlines. Who knows, though, as the show starts heating up, maybe when Conor McGregor pushes Michael Chandler and that gets tons of headlines, tons of clickbait, maybe then a lot of people start watching The Ultimate Fighter and say, hey, maybe I should go check up on what was going on. Another thing to consider is they're also not counting the people that watch it the next day, which the show's on at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Like, it's pretty late for some people, maybe late for grannies, but you know what I'm trying to say? Definitely some people out here that don't want to watch it at 10 p.m. and also even 7 p.m. I mean, people got shit to do. It's the weekday, but it is what it is. I think either way, you have to acknowledge that it is a little bit disappointing for the UFC in terms of like how the show is going in terms of popularity. I think they would definitely imagine the show being a little bit bigger than it actually is, but who am I to say? This has been only 2 episodes. I think we gotta wait till the whole season's over to decide, but so far I'm enjoying it. I'll definitely tune in for the next episode, but I think that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what your thoughts of The Ultimate Fighter were, what you guys thought about this episode. Let me know in the comment section below. Tell me what your favorite part was of the whole episode. For me personally, I like I said, Conor McGregor in the house. I thought that was just a great part. Definitely got to see a better side of Conor McGregor. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are the best fan base in MMA, and don't forget it. I appreciate every one of you. Tomorrow, I'm going to be putting out my Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana prediction video, so tune in for that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.